watching CycleCruza's all-in-one sport bike channel. Subscribe today.
How long have you guys been here?
Under the current owners, it's been like 22 years.
Wow.
But actually, a different owner was selling bikes out of here before that. This place was selling a lot of bikes. I'm not getting any credit, but that's the job.
Yeah. Nice bikes.
Hey guys, we got the 2012 Honda CBR1000rr, baby. My first time on a liter bike. You know, I really didn't want red, but actually the more I see this red, I think the sharper it looks. But here we go, the big boy bike. First time on a liter bike, CycleCruza, baby. And I'm gonna give you my thoughts. All right. I did already rode this from the dealership to here. The reason I didn't start out motovlogging from the dealership is because I really didn't know that area well, and I didn't have my GPS, so I didn't want to get lost. So I didn't want to fuck around and be talking and you know, miss the right turn to get back home. So I just cut the camera off and got to the now I'm on I-80, so I know where I'm going right now, and I'll give you some commentary on this bike, my first thoughts. So without further ado, let's start her up. She's already warmed up. She's too damn quiet, man. I have to put a slip-on or a pipe on this bike, man. It's too quiet. It sounds like a scooter. But alright guys, let's take it to the road. And I'll give my thoughts on this lovely CBR1000rr. I tell you right off the bat, this bike gets hotter than my 2008 Honda CBR600rr. I mean, I don't feel heat at the seat or anything, but I look at the gauge and it's, you know, when it's sitting, it's like in the 200s. And my other bike, usually, if I've ridden it, it's usually like in the 190s or 180s, depending on how hot it is. It will go up in the 200s. But this one, I was shocked to see being a brand new bike, that it would be in the, see, look at that, 214, 215, it'll get up to about 220 sitting. So obviously it must be okay. I mean, it's a brand new bike, so. But hey, let's get out here on the road and I'll tell you how I like this bike, tell you my first thoughts on this bike. So without further ado, let's get out of here. First off, when I first sat on the bike, it felt just like my 2008 Honda CBR600rr. It felt just as narrow between my legs. The seating position felt the same. The seat feels just as comfortable, if not more comfortable. The bars are pretty much, the clip-ons look to be about the same as the my bike, the 600rr. Well, this is my bike too, excuse me. My other bike, By the way, I didn't get rid of my Honda CBR600rr. It's sitting at home in the garage. And this baby's gonna be sitting right next to little sister. But anyways, one thing, what I noticed with this bike, first off, it's too damn quiet with this stock exhaust. And you know, I tell you, sound is probably just as important, if not more important, than the speed on the bike. I mean, I really get a eargasm with my two brothers Black Series exhaust on my CBR600rr. And this bike sounds like a scooter, man. So that's got to change. That's one of the first mods besides the fender eliminator kit. I'm not going to mod this bike up too much, but I'll get into what I'm going to do with this bike later on. But first off, my initial impressions of this bike. The build quality is fantastic on this bike, just like the CBR600rr. As far as power delivery, it's so linear and smooth. The shifting is smooth. The shifting on this bike is smoother than my 2008 CBR600rr. Because, you know, this does have a slipper clutch on it, so that helps. And as far as the power delivery, you know, it's a fast bike, but you never know it because it's so smooth and the power is so linear. You know, as where, I'll tell you guys, man, sometimes I don't even realize how fast I'm going until I look down at the speedometer, because you don't really feel the hit of power on this bike. It's just, it's so smooth. Like where my 2008 CBR600rr, it's like once it hits a certain RPM, it's like a turbo spool hits on, man. And it pulls you. It just poof. It gives you that, I don't know, man. It gives me that thrill, more of a thrill than on this bike. But I'll tell you guys, this bike is easier to ride. I mean, it's so easy to ride. Had I known this CBR1000rr was this easy to ride, I would have probably skipped the CBR600rr and got this bike, you know, coming from the 250. But I'm glad I went to the 2008 CBR600rr because I love that bike, man. Like I said, I think I'm gonna keep that bike and have the best of both worlds. But we got to do something with this bike to get it up to, you know, get the sound levels so we can get that eargasm again. Like I said, just too damn quiet, man. But you know, I'm not getting too crazy on this bike. You know, it's a brand new bike. Starting off, only had 0.3 miles, not even a mile on the bike. So we're gonna break this bike in properly. You know, I'm not gonna get crazy on this bike because I don't want to have any oil burning issues. So, and if I do have oil burning issues, I don't want it to be because I didn't break the bike in properly. So we're gonna make sure this bike is broken in properly. But yeah, man, I'll tell you guys, the power is just so smooth. And I'll tell you one thing, I do miss the fuel gauge that I have on my CBR600rr, man. I don't know how much gas I have in here. I gotta wait till a light comes on. I don't even know where I guess the light's gonna come down here on the bottom, or I don't know, there's a flash on the screen or something. I have no idea. But I have to pay attention to that because I don't want to run out of gas out here in bumfuck Pennsylvania. So, look at that. Look at the passing power on this, man. But it's so smooth, you don't feel a hit of power. It's just like, boom! But you don't feel the power, man. Like, look, I could do 100 on this bike. Look at this. I do 100. And it doesn't feel like I'm doing 100, man. As where my CBR600rr, it feels like I'm doing 100. On this bike, it's just, like I said, it's so damn smooth, which I guess is a good thing, but I can understand why a lot of the professional reviewers say it's bland and kind of boring to them, I guess, compared to some of the other leader bikes where you can feel that hit of power take place. I guess like the ZX10R, which has more top-end power than this bike, but this bike supposedly has more low-end power. The jump off the line on this bike feels about the same as my CBR600rr. 0 to 100 is faster on this bike, but say 0 to 60, it's probably a tick faster on this bike, but not by much. But you can't feel it though, like on my 600rr. You can feel it on the 600rr, man. And I guess it also has a lot to do with the sound too, though, because like I said, this bike sounds like a scooter right now, man. And you know, with the Two Brothers Black Series exhaust on my 600rr, I mean, it sounds like it's doing 100 when it's doing 100. This bike sounds like it's doing 20 miles an hour when it's doing 100. So, but yeah, we got some changes, some modifications we'll be doing to this bike. I'm not going to do a whole lot of modifications on this bike, though, I'll tell you. But I like it. It's a well-built bike. Like I said, man, it's comfortable. I mean, for those of you that have the CBR1000rr and you're contemplating on whether to go with the 600 or this leader bike here, this CBR1000, you can go from the 250 to this bike here, the CBR1000, if you want. This bike, like I said, it's in my opinion, it's even easier to ride. Not that my CBR600rr is hard to ride, but this is easier to ride than that bike. Like I said, this bike, the power is linear. It's so smooth. You know, you just take it easy on the throttle, you'll be fine. For those of you guys that make it sound like this bike is scary to ride, I don't know. Maybe I know they did slow this bike down a tad from 11 to 2012 because the quarter mile times from 2008 to 2011 are like high 9s. And this bike is like 10.2 in the quarter mile. So it got a little bit slower. So maybe to hit a power you can feel a little bit more maybe on the older CBR1000rrs. I don't know. I have not ridden any of those bikes, so I can't tell you from experience. But I can tell you from my experience on this bike that it's very, very easy to ride, very smooth. Like I said, it's almost too easy. But I'll tell you, it's a beautiful bike, man. I really enjoy it. The clutch is much easier to pull than the 2008 CBR600rr that I have. Not that that's real hard, but this one is easier to pull. And the slipper clutch is awesome on this bike. As far as the suspension, feels good so far. Like I haven't really hit any. I haven't hit really. You know, there was no twisties around here. I hit a couple of turns, and this bike does turn in very nice, man. I mean, this bike, you can flick this bike just like the 600rr. You know. So for those of you guys that are saying this CBR1000rr is like a 600, you guys are not lying. Shit, this bike may be even easier to hit the twisties and hit the corners with than my bike, the other bike that I have. I don't know, it feels so light and so flickable, and it's very confidence inspiring, I'll tell you that. But yeah, guys, it's an awesome bike, man. I tell you, it's got the gear indicator. Not that I even need it. Like I tell you guys, you don't really need. You should know what gear you're in by the feel of the bike but hey, man, it makes it very easy. Just see what gear you're in. I don't pay attention to it though. Like I said, I don't think you really need it. But hey, it's there. I'd rather have a fuel gauge on this bike than the gear indicator, to be honest with you. But so far I got 117 miles on it, 117.4, and the fuel light, like I said, I don't know what it looks like yet. Okay guys, the low fuel light came on at 135 miles, and then it blinks here, the reserve tank, how much is left. Right now I got 0.4. Okay guys, just filled her up. Put in 3.803 gallons of gas. Put in 93 V-Power here at Shell. And I'll start a new Fuelie account for this bike. And that way I can keep track of the fuel efficiency. And you can too. I'll include a link on my website over at CycleCruza.com. So hey guys, I'm about to get back on the road. that's all I have for you guys here. These are my initial thoughts. Thumbs up, awesome bike, but just it's so smooth, man. We got to get some sound on this bike though, because I'm not getting the eargasm. Like I said, I'm not feeling the power on this bike, but we'll light it up in some other videos in the future, and hopefully we can get this bike dialed in the way I want it. But hey guys, that's all I have for you. Like I said, there'll be a ton of videos coming up on this Fireblade, so look forward to that. If you have any questions, feel free to drop a comment in the in the comment section of this video, and I'll get to that and answer it. But that's all I have for you guys in this video. So until next time, I'll catch you guys later. Deuces!
And it's time for CycleCruza's recommended videos.
Links are in the info section of this video. Hey, you motorcycle dreamers, listen up. You might want to check out my How to Get Started in Motorcycling video, so you can get your ass off the couch and get a bike. Hey guys, if you don't want to get ringed when you buy a brand new or used motorcycle, you better check out my buying tips video. Yeah! If you're looking for a great first bike to start on, check out my review on the 2011 Honda CBR1000rr. For those of you that want to step up your street and track game, check out my review on the 2008 Honda CBR600rr, baby! Before you do a video request, you might want to check out my website at CycleCruza.com and check out my video library and playlists. You may find the video that you're looking for. Just click on the My Videos tab. If you get a chance, like me at Facebook.com/CycleCruza1 for new updates and to browse my video library. Hey, I'm on Instagram now, so if you get a chance, follow me at Instagram.com/CycleCruza. Yeah! Get your CycleCruza sport bike themed apparel at CycleCruza.com.
CycleCruza.com.
Hey guys, check out my new channel where I talk about anything and everything, not just motorcycle related. CycleCruza MotoVlog.